Hello. Welcome to my stream. Kau dengar kan? Ya. Ni. Okay. Hari ni aku nak main Genshin. Nak sambung kita punya apa dia tu? Kita sambung kita punya quest. Dia kuat sangat pula. Apa kat gue? Okay. All good.
I see everything.
I see everything. Hi everything. So first thing first, kita kena pergi ke Peripherals. Kita kena buat daily mission. Rambut ke tak? Dengar suara aku kan? Berbahaya. Berbahaya. Jangan nak share stream je. Ya, berbahaya. Sini tahu je. Shit. Apa ni? Wah. Kecang demi 9. Apa ni? Something like that. Ya, rambut tadi duduk diam. Where's the destination?
Everyone hold hands.
Ya.
Shine down.
Bitrate lower. Serius ah. Okay. Selamat malam Ara. So kita stream ya eh. Mungkin kita pergi Junior Khas.
There is no escape.
I see everything.
I got you covered.
Everyone hold hands. Ah!
Should replace my hammer.
Aku mute rupanya.
I see everything.
Saya tak mute mah. Saya biasa-biasa saja. Ada suara dia. Aku macam kenapa senyap je. Rupanya aku mute mic dekat OBS. Bengok.
Sharing my knowledge. Take.
Illusion shattered.
Sorry lah ya. Tak perasa. Janganlah sedih. Aduh, je planting tu.
Everyone hold hands.
There is no escape.
Ayah, kena prank. Itu dia tu.
Hold the line.
Yang stream pun kena prank dengan diri sendiri. Bila kayu nak solo horror. Solo horror agak berat ya. Dengan cerita update 4.0 team saya tak ada lain. Nak tengok? Tengok ni. Tada. Kan? Kalau aku tukar pun
We can do this.
bercube.
There are still so many
Dari
places.
kau yang jerit bila solo horror. Aku multiplayer punya horror aku boleh lah. Single player takut aku tak habis. Tak habis main sebab kalau dengan member tak adalah kurang lah sikit kepala. Kalau yang seorang tu aduh. Dengan ada puzzle lagi aduh. Lemah sikit. Buat caki. Mira je. Buat caki Game apa sekejap. Stream solo game kita together. Takut.
Breathtaking.
Kalau Kak Yong ada hutau lawa sikit katanya. Ya. What do you mean by that? Perhati di video. Apa nama tu? Video apa? Video apa? Apa nama tu video? Video apa ni? Debut berani betul. Ayo buat solo horror kita orang teman. Aku dah duduk bilik belakang. Aku tak boleh tidur. Nak dengar Kak Yong jerit boleh buat soundboard. Aduh, aku dah banyak jerit kot. Dengan Valorant aku pernah jerit. Tu main Escape the Bedroom pun aku pernah jerit. Main horror Kalau Roblox boleh tak? Saya tak mampu lah nak main game-game horror lain. Dia buka lampu je. Tak boleh dik, panas dik. Bila aku kalau buka lampu lagi panas. Tak nak dengar agak jerit keluar halkom. Keluar halkom? Adalah Escape the Bedroom tu aku main. Aku jerit kat sini pandai. Kau boleh tengok. Roblox yang seram. Roblox yang seram pun boleh
Let's move out.
Korang suggest Roblox apa yang best? Yang seram? Nanti aku sponsor backlight. Panas. Backlight tak payahlah Mira. Simpan duit tu. Boleh top up Harry Potter. Aduh malas yang mencari. Aduh. Kau rajin main game ke Afif? Oi. Jangan expose aku. Oh bukan boleh dapat achievement. If the book to Zutau. Zutau pula. Banyak game Roblox seram nama tak ingat. Fidget dust. Fidget dust. Pasal tu nak main kot.
You'll have a blast.
Dengan Poppy. Poppy tak nak. Banyak puzzle. I don't like. Sekejap. I don't like puzzle-puzzle. Tak nak setelkan chapter 1 lama ke ah. The Mimic pun dah main. Sekejap apa nama? Fidget Fidget.
Place to go for collecting your dishes. Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast.
Mau dah lah pernah main. Apa lagi? Allah je lah. RYZEN.
Place to go for collecting your dishes.
Allah aku dah uninstall.
Julie's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
Memang kena main horror ke? Aduh. Dah lama main horror ni.
Place to go for collecting your dishes. Join the Adventurers Guild.
Benda yang uninstall boleh install. Tak. Dah refund dah. Je tu. Kan banyak.
Julie's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
Senua Kiosk. Place to go for collecting your dishes. Join the
Apa ni?
Adventurers Guild.
Suka horror game baru sedap makan Maggi. Orang sedap makan Maggi aku. Aku tersiksa tau. Sedap makan Maggi sekali kena yerit memang.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your Ad Astra.
Entahlah. Kita ke belik-belik Roblox. Faham ke selalu kat yang belanja jerit? Kan selalu. Rasanya selalu aku jerit kalau bagi hantu. Berapa esok tu? Hah? Saya tak boleh janji lah. Mungkin record kot. Aku tak live. Aku mungkin record. Macam jerit sekarang. Boleh tak macam tu? Saya record mah. Rasanya aku ada simpan tau. Tapi aku tak tahu game apa tu. Game apa? Nak live horror. Nak live solo horror. Oh, miau. Zu. Diskusi nanti yuk. Aduh, lembut sangat jeritnya. Kasih keluar kuat.
Let's move out.
Cuba Kak Yan tengok game apa ada. Game apa ada
Thank you so very much. The key here is consumer psychology.
Sekejap. Sekejap ya. Genshin ni kuat sangat pula. Ada update ke? Kenapa dia lambat? The Intruder. Ya. Ini apa benda gila? Oh ni dah. Kita sudah main. Sekejap Dia tak nampak eh. Ni baru nampak. Korang tengoklah game apa ada. Ya aku scroll slow eh. Dah banyak game horror kat Roblox dah tak best. Betul? Kami on je tapi kalau solo horror first 10 okey gak? Ini yang dekat Epic Game tau yang aku ada. Kalau bagi tahu game apa nanti aku summarizekan lah. No, ni mesti beli type Epic Game ada free ni. Boleh lah. Kak Yo main je mana-mana game horror kami lain je. Lah aku decide aku tak main horror. Okay, dia dekar Steam pula. Kita tengok lah ya. Wah, watchdog. Ya, melihat anjing. Tapi nak kata nak tengok aku main game seram. Di bawah kau nak main. Di seat. Di seat main dengan ni. Di seat pernah main. Di seat tu game free. Dia macam pack. Lebih kurang macam DVD daripada light. Kemudian kau kena teka lah siapa imposter tu. Specify Specify tak ada solo kan. Dia multiplayer kan. Dah habis kan? Oh, aku dah scroll habis lah. Pals. Siapa pernah main? Senang cari kat store and cari bagian horror. Game apa lagi tak main? Steam Store. Steam Store. RM40. Sekejap lagi aku main seorang. Mahalnya. Mahal. Oh, expensive. Suka masuk live stream sini sebab kat yang baca semua stat. Kau jangan cakap macam tu. Masuk je dia orang punya stream. Aku baca sebab chat tak laju. Tak ramai kan. Nak ibu. Hafiz selalu kadang bagi 1 sen je. Thank you Hafiz walaupun tak 1 sen. The Mysterious Horror lah tadi. The Mysterious? Mana? Mysterious? Before the Night. Before the Night. Sekejap. Mysterious. Mana menatang tu? Mysterious. Mysterious. Aku boleh search ni gila. Monster. Ini apa gila? Ini apa Fif? Sexual content nudity. Astaga, teruk baranganmu ni. Bongok. Before the Night. Before the Night. Ni apa ni? Ini macam tak seram sangat. Boleh demo. Mengapa dalam kegelapan? Kenapa tak boleh ya? Lampu lah gila. Teruklah kat you ni. Aku pula. Hai. Aku pula dia bersalahkan. Tak tekan. Ya, Epic tadi ada apa lah? Ini apa sah ada bogel gila. Bodoh ni apa ni? Macam Goofy. Goofy. Afi innocent, aku sepak Afi tu kan. Innocent terkorak dia. Banyak sangat return bedroom lah, apalah. Kak you main solo horror, jangan apa tu, GLP kat belakang bahaya. Jangan GLP apa tu? RM5 bodoh. Sekejap Gelap no. Apa yang gelap? Ada je. Oh, GLP tu gelap. Oh. Apa maksud gelap kat belakang bahaya? Ni belakang ni. Ni katil aku. Ni apa ni? Si comel. Aku tarik-tarik rambut tu kan. Rambut? Itu yang kau tengok. Apa dia? The one game yang Fafi main tu? Roblox. Roblox. Saja nanti jump scare. Jump scare. Ya Outlast. Apa ni? Game tu memang comel. Thank you. Outlast solo, let's go. Outlast dah main. Saya nak install balik tu, aduh. Tak ada space. Kau dah main dah, aduh, wacat. Ini apa benda gila, bukan? Mamai. Tak ada space kembangkan. Mana aku tahu kau dah main gila. Yes lah, tak tahu. Aku main dengan tu. Dengan panda merah. Dengan Fluffy. Roblox banyak game yang aku main dulu dah tak ada lah. Kenapa ni? Outlast yang lama tu hidup le. Teman dah main game tu lama dah. Zaman sekolah lagi. Sebab kau terror sangat. Sebab tu blok kau kot. Blok aku. Sebab Roblox buat game yang langgar-langgar rules. Itulah itu. Macam dulu ada satu game tu aku main. Sebelum last aku main sebelum ni kot. Sebelum COVID kot. Lepas tu aku main start. Nak main balik kan. Kita dah tak ada lah. Busuk. Apa undang-undang dia? Manalah aku tahu. Saya ni bukan developer Roblox. Oh, gelap dah. Kamu balik lah, Genshin. Kalau dari aku tak tahulah, game biasa pun dia buang. Roblox banyak game seram tapi tak ingat nama. Aku pergi kat list Roblox tadi. Horror like, game horror like 7 game yang keluar kat aku punya. Otak dulu bersepah gila. Roblox horror. Yang apa yang aku dah favourite kan, game horror kan. Yang tinggal 1-2. Itu pun game yang like aku main dengan member-member aku. Esok tu kat yang live. Tak boleh nak cakap lah. Hilang aku punya kamera. Tengok solo horror. Aku record. Record. Tapi bukan esok lah. Aku tak stream, aku record konten. Buat konten kat JMY. Bodoh. Mana tadi? Jadi korang listkan lah Roblox apa yang aku tak main. Nanti aku semak. Dia kat yang debut guys. Mana ada debut? Tengok teaser. Teaser apa? Nak debut video ada teaser Jangan game kan, jangan. Bagi slow sikit. Dengan run seperti kuat, ya. Banyaknya burung.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Aranias might have been the last one.
Vache.
Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Ugh, that's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Dah okey kan? Tadi je lost connection.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the
Oh,
water.
buat yang Genshin.
Huh? Hang on. Hyman can kind of hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right?
Vache.
Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Aku dah slowkan gameplay asal kuat gila. Wah. Ocean need.
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No. wait.
Alang lost the rule.
You seem to be someone else.
Hah?
Do you know Vache? Do you know where
Dia dah
my
hilang.
is?
Ni okey ni. Aku nampak aku OBS je. Kau yang main, bantai kau orang.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many
je.
fragments dissolved
Okay.
amidst the tide. Never
Giveaway
being
yang
covered.
apa? PRPM
How much have
perempuan
I
eh.
lost?
Labah-labah dah
How
main.
many things that I once held
Saja
dear while
doa
on land
hilang.
have I since forgotten?
Labah-labah.
Yes, that is what I was once.
Tak ingat lah.
I am but the consciousness
Eh,
of one who has
Devour.
lost their form.
Devour latest kita orang main.
I do not know
Devour
how I
yang
came
mana?
to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Kita guna power of mulut masin. Lagu cili mulut kau. Bukan yang slaughterhouse. Sekejap. Devour. Aku dah banyak main game yang pening eh. Oh betul lah yang ni. Devour last kita orang main yang paling latest yang tangkap babi tu. Dekat ada kandang babi, ada tempat chiller tu. Tangkap babi tu. Apa dah monster dia?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure.
Slaughterhouse eh?
Loved exploring places of peril.
Oh ya tu.
No matter where I
Tu je lah
went,
paling latest.
Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now,
Masing-masing
no
mampus.
longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be. No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor, so let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth. Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Main Nico House pun best. Main lari-lari kat Roblox. Asal Navi kena attack? Boleh claymore
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Polis tu. Lorin. Benda. JCU.
Quick, now's our chance!
Mak. Oh no, ada power of 3-star weapon. Bukan 3-star, tu 1-star kan? Si siapa? Si... Oh ni, yang diorang pakai. Yang diorang pakai 4-star. 3-star. Yang Traveler pakai tu 1-star. Tak berubah lagi dia punya weapon, tak faham aku.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clarand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clarand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand.
Yang boleh join mak jemaah dalam GTA jadi
Any
adik-beradik.
ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
Adik-beradik dia macam dalam best
I do
sinetron.
not think that they'll strike again anytime soon.
Ini kalau ada kat
So I shall
GTA.
stop following you. Good day.
Apa 5M tu ke? Kau tak kerti install tu. 5M tu tak ada install.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've got
Tapi masuk
today.
nanti kena ni.
Demoiselle, I
Kena apa?
believe that Miss Clarand was being sincere with
Kena
you.
roleplay. Aku tak kerti roleplay.
If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! and there was that champion duelist named Chlorine who came out to save us too. We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Macam biasa lah, tak ada lawan.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for
Nak
me
belanja download
anyway.
minta kat Wanda. Owner buah
In
kambing.
truth,
Nak panda
I
M.
hope that every
Huh?
meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners.
Oh,
There's no
panda
need to thank
ni.
me.
Panda buah
It
kambing.
will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
Apalah.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow?
Dah kena semua lah.
Paimon's even more amazing than
Awal lagi dah 10.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that
Habis
happen?
sini aku nak ambil air.
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with
Oh,
water
baru
from the
perasan Paimon
primordial
cuma mati
sea?
hilang. Dah buka dah.
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me,
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh,
Uish, apa yang
is
uish?
important.
Seram game ni. Tegur kamu.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did
Of
say that our
course.
farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Kami tadi
Don't worry,
dulu
you
Kak
two.
Yung.
With us
Nak makan
around,
ubat
our
sikit
base is
balik. Nak
definitely
tidur.
secure.
Thank you for lagi next stream. Okay Ara. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming. Bye bye. Good night. Go to the Spilna di Risula. Di mana? Jauhnya. Good night Yung. Kesalam. Good night. Rosak dah. Bongok tu. Mana ni? Port of Fontaine. Mana ni? Bawah ni ke? Oh. Oh ada chest. I want to go there. Abang aku orang ambil chest tu.
It's right up ahead. But let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue,
Malus.
traveler.
Takut dia punya assistant tu. Very suspicious. Bawah ni ke? Okay, sabar jap. Ambil air. Sekejap
To survive hardship, you must prepare for hardship.
I'm back. Bongok. Okay, let's go into the bawah. Wah. Apa ni? Tak ada chest kan? Okay. Mari ke bawah. Bro, Pepe should never laugh. Ah, bodoh. Yeah. Ada chest ke? Ini ke rumah dia? Serius lah. Cak. Dah kucing. Udah melus.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering.
Masalahnya
In fact,
kau tengok
our
baju
funds
macam
often
cantik
come from
lagi.
citizenry who
Dia tinggal
support
bawah
us.
tanah tu.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosa, right? He...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me
Ah,
to
apa itu dia?
explain.
No, I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic
Aku kena
forever.
gigit dengan nyamuk. Bodoh nyamuk.
As partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
Tak boleh.
I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to... If only he
Dia pun
were more
BB3.
open with me when he was still alive.
Apa ni? Aku rasa lama sangat aku buka pandang live ni. Nak lari dulu kamu bawa masyam kat rumah saja. Okay, Afif. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master
Demoiselle.
Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry,
Faham.
Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Coran told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just leaning towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Eh? What happened? Aku sepak benda ni kan. Banyak. Camera being mean to me. Oh my god. Kok hilang? Stupid. Tidak ada balik. Bingung ni kamera. Rest in your room.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
What will happen? I'm scared. Go to the Palace Mermonia. Go to the Chief Justice office. What? Masa satu ni? Which one should I go? Oh, new world quest. Kita buat ni dulu. Macam biasa kita siapkan ni dulu ya. Kita siapkan Archon quest. Lepas tu baru kita buat apa dia tu? Workwear deh. Lama loading. Okay dah. Cinematic. Oh, not really.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Tom.
Please come in.
Oh, yo. Hello.
Rustin, revamp. Commit it to memory.
Don't get too close.
Haji yang slow kan. Zhongli. Hydro Zhongli.
Pardon, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Aku risau dia Vache. Dia Vache. Ataupun
Knew that Nervalet
Purina.
was so easy to talk to.
Kalau
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
Teranggu.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Kenapa gelap? Kenapa lu dia lama sangat?
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can turn into water.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? Great, let's go then.
Mari pergi bersama saya dengan Navia. Sedang loading ya. Harap sabar, ini ujian. No. Kenapa tu? Sepa. Wih, tu teleport sini. That's a great idea. Jimat masa aku nak teleport. Poisson. Dah sampai.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised.
No,
It
huh?
may look like a ship.
Oh,
It's
kenapa,
actually
Icat?
Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has
Adalah aku cuma tadi.
for herself, she's been convinced.
Ew.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began after all. It's our main base.
Exposing nandayo. How to melus in the ship? How do we go the ship? Kata. Is it true? Okay, no. Is it lie? This is lie. That's not a true case. That's a lie. Oof. Loy, Vira Loy. Kurang kau.
Melus, we're back.
Melus.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that.
Ah, belum.
It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Melus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in
Synth.
Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of
Synth
drink
you
that
stay.
could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did.
Nadia ke tu? Bukan Nadia, Navia. Nadia siapa Nadia?
If you drink synth for an extended
Pasal
amount of
orang
time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to
Novia.
stop drinking it completely,
Genovia.
you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance.
Nadia siapa? Ex
As
kau
he
ke?
oversaw
Acap.
Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him,
Kau nak kan tadi.
not only that, Boss became determined
Wih,
to find
nya.
the mastermind behind the synth operation.
Benda ni,
End
aduh.
the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation.
Aduh
Recognizing
dia ni.
that, my father
Tahu
decided to
lah.
contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques, He felt greatly ashamed of his
Jacques.
work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has
Did he think
changed.
I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Maloose?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove tensions to the boiling point, the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
No.
5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict.
Game ni bangang pula.
All the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten
Udah
his
jadi
hands
lubang
on
tu.
some key
Bola ang lubang.
ingredients for the other side, and even told some members of
Okay.
Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remain safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the
Binimu buka wahai Aisyah. Aku dah lama, aku dah lama dah buka ni tadi. Daripada tadi kot. Kau perasan?
He chose to die in silence so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle.
Mana tu?
What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol,
Aku buka.
but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you
Asal bapak
telling
panjang
you
conversation ni.
that you want to find
Baru
the
kau
answer
tahu.
for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool.
Genshin punya storyline memang panjang.
No. He might have set up
Tapi
everything
best.
precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him.
Tak adalah
Is
bosan.
that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening,
Wish
the
Nadia
enemy
bin drama.
boss didn't share
Mana
the
taknya?
specifics of the
Bapak dia
incriminating
mati.
evidence he found.
Dia tak
But
dapat
if you
keadilan
want to
yang
use it against the enemy,
ukuh.
you'll
Lepas tu dia
still
marah.
have to take several things into consideration.
Lepas tu dia bebel.
If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how
Green
thoroughly
screen
they
ke benda ni?
operate.
Bodoh. Warna kuning kot.
That's true.
Warna oren.
Seems my father really had no choice. But things
Oh, green
are
screen though.
different now. It
Oh,
should be a
Paimon.
lot easier to prove the other side's guilt now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the
Malus.
butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic
Spin my
investigations,
head right round, right
waiting
round.
for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Thank you.
Have you discovered anything new in the
Thank you.
past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few
Hi,
people
Boss
in the
Fig.
dark
I'm here
to
with
observe
positive energy.
reactions
Hello,
of
welcome to the
Sith
stream.
vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina de Rasula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people boss trusted the most, which also means
I'm here
he
with the
was someone
cuteness
who
and
understood boss
energy.
really well.
Welcome, boys. Food.
Thanks to his
Ew.
position within boss's
Cuteness, my
innermost circle,
ass.
he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of
Marcel.
Gabriel.
Uncle Marcel.
What is this
It's a
conflict?
guild in Poisson. The boss helped it to grow to its current
Oh,
size
bodoh.
and prominence. In the
Conspiracy.
beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest
Welcoming
guilds
direct
around, with a
accepted.
lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were
No,
fighting
it
against
is
the
my
sea
ass.
dealers, they provided us with plenty of support.
What?
It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt
Yes,
down
sir.
themselves.
Tak nampak, tak
The
nampak.
final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
It's hard
If
to
you want to
believe.
investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus.
Thank
You
you.
provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to
I
me.
hope we can work together to uncover the truth and
Aku
end
gegar
this
rambut
case
tu terbang
once
sekejap
and for all.
Rambut dia terbang. So aku pakai balik. Aku rimas. Aku dah cakap aku patah. Aku beli dua cekak terpatah. Bongok tu. Tak tahulah. Pakainya macam tu je.
Please excuse me and
Aku
enjoy your
aku nak
conversation.
pakai balik kan. Tengok. Oh,
Thank you for
nampak
arranging
ah.
everything for us, Malus. Excuse me.
Nampak
yes.
sangat. Nampak tak
Do
kau
you
big
need
brain?
anything from us?
Big brain. Tak. Satu sebab ni. Adele. Sebab rambut aku tebal kan.
Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I
Tak
only
potong
came
rambut
to
ke
visit
tak?
after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rusula sent us a lot
Ah,
of
Cikgu
moral
PJ.
support.
Cikgu
Understood
fikir
your guilt and
fikir Ham
apology
marah.
to be genuine.
Kenapa fikir Ham?
Aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I
Pedal
didn't
lo.
know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Fikir gua je budak ni.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was
Sebab
earned through
Cikgu
others.
fikir Ham kena jaga ke masa
He
murid.
told me countless times that if he could turn back
Tahu,
the clock,
tapi
he would
sekarang
never
ni
go into the synth
saya
business
dah
again.
tak belajar dah.
He had many
Saya dah habis
regrets.
belajar lama
He
dah.
felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he
So dah
accepted
tak
it
ada dah
almost
Cikgu fikir
immediately.
Ham.
He tried to be as
Kau gila
careful as
rambut
he
dah
could.
sampai sini je.
Even so, he was
Cikgu
still
fikir Ham
bound by
tak
the
denda
HyperX.
kau, tak potong rambut kau.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should
Kenapa
never
tak
be
kayu dah old?
ungrateful.
Before he left
Pak sudah
Bangkok,
bebas malam betul?
he told me
Yang
that he
old tu
had
kau
no
Acat.
choice.
Aku masih muda
It was
lagi.
only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Dia ada jiwa muda lah. Ya kah?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to.
Jiwa muda Mak S.
Which is
Dengki.
why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a
Dengki
good
lah.
man.
Kenapa
So
dengki?
why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his
Bukan
reasons.
gila.
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Testimony from Jack family. Pelanting kucing tu. Mampu kau.
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll
Uncle
get
Marcel.
myself together on...
Ni ibu tak boleh bercakap lagi. Dah sampai dah.
Thanks, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table.
By the way, ni tengah siasat apa pula?
Before running to the scene. But according to the
Ini second punya Archon quest untuk Fontaine. Dia tengah siasat. First, dia siasat suara siapa. Ada satu suara yang suara misteri kan. Lepas tu dia nak check balik kematian bapa Navia tu. Bapa perempuan ni. Perempuan ni bapa. Dia nak siasat balik lah kes lama tu.
The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I
He
can
will glow
understand
flesh.
why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing, the whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side.
Hello bayo. Hello Chimera. Go to the stream. Saya Nur.
Laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula.
Spina di Rosula.
I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Information regarding Florine. Kita pergi mana ni? Go to the port of Fontaine and speak to Terry. Who's that? Oh, tak banyak. Ini je. Di manakah anda? Terry Joe.
It's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal
By the way, Kak Yon check
circumstances,
phone.
shouldn't you have been called
Ada
back
apa?
to the city already?
Buat apa ah?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just
Ya,
say
eh.
I enjoy the ambiance
Tengoklah
of
muka.
Poisson. Callus
Bukan
did a
berasa gatal.
fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to
Wapun.
find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the
Oh, kau hantar kat ni ke? Kau hantar kat
Of course.
Session go?
Without
Thank you
them,
though.
I
Thank you for
couldn't possibly
donation.
handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully
Ada
get more
sin, eh?
evidence for your father's case.
Thank you, thank you,
You
thank you.
see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your
Pakai
baggage.
lipstick kat Ayong dia macam
If
ha?
you try to
Merah
make
ke?
unreasonable demands, the
Biasa je.
chef would just
Kau
think
tak
you're
pakai
out of
lipstick
your
ah?
mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is
Kalau aku
also
pakai
not
lipstick,
as easy
tebal
as
lah
you
aku
might
pakai.
think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely
Jadi kan
private
Cisi.
units. They're
Kau
certainly not cheap.
nampak
So
gitu.
whoever their owner is must be super rich,
Ini hanyalah filter
powerful, or
semata-mata.
both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Pegang sangat pula. Sakit mata aku. Ini orang. Dah sampai ML. Okay. Thank you for coming. Hello stream. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the donation.
Then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Tu lagi seorang nanti kan? Which is Floren. Floren dah tadi. Tapi seorang Marcel. Rambut ni tidak memberi kerjasama ya.
Is but a backdrop of constant motion.
Ih!
I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Okay dah. Let's continue our journey. Mana ni? Oh jadi. Kenapa tu voice feed? Nyut. Mereka di sana. Oh dekat je dengan ni. Apa? Apa benda tu nama tu?
Hello, how may I help you?
I mean,
I'm here to
have
see
you?
Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure, I will let him know right away.
Oh ni chef tu kan? Tu tak? Tu bukan?
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Tak sempat dengar suara.
as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a
Suara?
bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the
Huh?
opera house. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Syekh masak ayah Navia.
Were at the opera house
Bukan.
too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her
Saya
own
pun
game
share
on
je
her own
chat.
turf,
Oh.
I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven.
Poisson.
If you're scared, you can always return there.
Poisson?
If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
Just let me know.
All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Information regarding Marcel. Tapi nampak macam semua okey je. Tepi lah gila. Nampak macam semua innocent lah. Aku takut dia punya bodyguard je yang sebenarnya jahat. Sekejap nak check dengan abang saya.
To all
Okay.
three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded
Take your time.
particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Gardamex. Aku sebenarnya dah lupa tau. Gardamex tu siapa? Gardamex. Genshin. Aku rasa yang polis tu doh. I think the police. Terry.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Tu ni lah. Marcel lah tinggal. So dia kata tadi last tadi sebelum kita end tadi. Dia kata kalau nak duit bagi tahu dia. Hi boys, wait, welcome back.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he's been spending a whole lot of moral and energy to fight his own synth business? Who could it be?
So jawapan dia yang chef tu. Yang ni duduk dekat yang bawah tanah tu. Yang ni miskin. Apa lagi? Yang ni polis. Ni yang kaya. So kau rasa yang mana? The Florent, ni polis, ataupun yang kaya ni? Chef yang kaya. What you guys think? Aku rasa yang kaya ni. Aku rasalah yang kaya ni. Personality siapa paling rude? So far, tiga-tiga ni okay. Time jumpa tadi. Semua tak apa? Tak macam kurang ajar ke apa. Semua okay nice je. Kau ambil paling root so far 3 ni okay je. Time interact dengan Navia tadi tu. Yang ini kerja dengan bapak dia. Tapi dia apa, dia selesaikan kes yang apa? Kes yang personal lah. Kes-kes sulit dia apa ke, dia settle kan. Entahlah weh. Antara 3 ni. Tapi aku vouch for ni lah, Marcel. Mau try kah? Dia kata the event of the case is quite foggy. Yang macam abang polis tu bukan. Cuba try. Nak try mana? Yang polis ke yang Marcel? Sebab aku tak rasa polis. Kita try dulu Marcel. Kita tengok. Kalau salah jangan marah, tak apa. Tak marah pun. Kita kan pilih lain kalau salah.
Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the 3, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial.
Lagi pun bukan pakcik dia, bukan pakcik dia yang related dengan dia.
Holding trials? What's so
Dia pakcik yang macam mana?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on
Pakcik
trial
tu yang bekerja dengan bapak dia.
Tartaglia.
A child?
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder than to...
Baru nak buat joke pasal child buruan ayah Navia. Tapi tak mungkin tu.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Kau tu child kena tangkap kan?
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
We'll help
Give
you,
it to me.
just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then.
Suspect analysis.
Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going.
Kenapa kat sini?
The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
What happened? Final entry in headquarters.
According to Malu's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Mak cantik siut. Very smooth. Uyo. Apa ni? Mana entrance-nya? Mana entrance-nya? Oh ni ha? Domain ke? Journey kan? Lepas tu animation dia tak lag.
Production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Yang peliknya dia orang boleh bernafas dalam ni. Itu yang tak faham tu.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received.
Nak bergaduh dengan tu, travel to alien.
I privately sparred with her last time.
Traveler to
She's
alien.
obviously holding back.
Tapi tu, Paimon tu?
Disappointing.
Hey, don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of that learns in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again.
Sorry,
the goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances.
Aku tak tahulah. Kamera ni kadang-kadang bongok.
You got the wrong man. Huh? What's going on?
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide a key eyewitness.
Itu padam. Dia berpandang tak tahulah.
Standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court
Tak tu, panas.
interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Lagi pun kamera aku tak buka lampu. Kau buka lampu
Then
lain.
Tartaglia here will be proven
Aku buka ring
innocent by
light.
default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Aduh, dia kena pilih balik. Kenapa macam masih boleh gelak masa macam ni? Tak tahu lah. Member tak nak ni. Member nak gaduh je. Yelah, kau bayangkan. Kau tak buat apa-apa. Tiba-tiba kau kena tuduh. Mana tak member bising? So kita boleh Marcel lah. Okay.
Marcel, the head of confrérie of Cabriere.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Kalau ni game.
I do.
Game tak apa kot. Game, kalau game final tak apa. Kalau real life tak boleh. Dosa.
Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere.
Okay.
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Okay.
When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
Kita akan main puzzle balik.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger.
Duel
In truth, the third person shot Jacques first.
Dia duel dengan ni lah, perempuan
When my father
yang apa?
seized the gun from him.
Dia pakai poli yang pegang pistol.
The true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Okay. Navia pula. Pakcik dia kuat ke? Hah? Yang duel tu bapak dia, bapak Navia tu dengan yang Cloran tu, perempuan yang pakai pistol tu. First shot must have missed, but the second must have been taken live. Gunshot who had a motive to kill. From free of cavalry. Did not bring a gun with him. The person on the scene. Sini kot. Clothing for an unknown person. Aku sini, this one.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
So betul lah kan?
Something.
Kan? Ini self-defense. Oh kan? Bukan. Ya. Ini. Still go. Oh kan enggak. So ni might be this one.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin.
Oh kan?
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Itu siut. Walaupun salah tadi. Like a few times.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home.
I do not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an
There's
all-out
two
war
people
with
here.
Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the
I don't
only
know
one
who.
in danger.
You
All of
and
us would have
another
stood
one?
to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right?
Guru berhak tidur lagi
What she
nanti.
said was
Okay.
fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there
Cara tu sebutan dia dengan kosong tu sama.
the date of my first business license against the first known case of the
Ya,
serial
itulah France kan.
disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial
Tanta polis lagi.
disappearances, and the people
Jut.
who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose
Kalau kita
image
salah ni,
do you see,
kita lawan dengan orang.
Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Oh, tu.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Guna enemy sebagai kekuatan disguise. Mungkin lah. Kita baru sampai sini punya. Apa tu? Besarnya gear dia. Boleh lagi. The night surface. Apa yang ada? Domain ni. Party setup. Oh. Ya tu domain.
I see everything.
Illusion shattered. Check this out. Here's backup.
Make yourselves at home. Yeah. Yeah.
Dah beda.
The floor is going up.
Wah, ada lift.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
The chest. Kita check dulu apa yang ada. Mana tahu ada chest lain. Kalau jatuh balik ni tak boleh naik ni. Oh, dia tunggu balik. Okay, nice. Ni chest yang tak boleh buka. Atas tu ada apa? Nice seat. Loot first mission, second. Betul? Kalau kita tak buat, kita tak dapat chest tu. Contohnya benda ni dah habis kan, kita bukan boleh repeat balik. Lawa tu.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon
Very nice wine lah.
Let's take a look around.
Bodoh.
Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
My bad. My favorite color. Apa ni? Nak kena buat apa ni? Ni bilik apa pula ni? Open sesame. Nothing happened. Oh, ada. There's something to break here. Tumbukan padu. Oh. Buka cadangmu, Aisyah. Ni apa ni? Sedut air apa ni? Oh, dia naikkan water level. Lepas pintu pun terbuka. Tunggu je. Dia first kau kena ni, left click. Kalau PC left click. Left click ni tu aim binatang. Kalau mobile aku tak sure macam mana. Dia kena pilih binatang apa yang warna biru tu. Macam hantu punya binatang kan. Lepas tu tekan ni. Tekan left click. Oh no, beku.
There is no escape.
Lagi. Lama, pro player Genshin. Nak gigit bateri. Raiden suara macam orang tua. Biasa, member dah berapa ratus tahun dah. Itu member duduk dalam badan puppet. Kalau orang lain dah mati dah. Berapa ratus tahun tu? Like 500 tahun lepas apa? Lepas ni war. Lepas tu orang cakap crack. Tak baik je macam tu. Walaupun dia dah tua dan dia jadi puppet, tapi dia seksi. Gitu. Oh ni ada chest. Yo. Slay.
Shine down. I see everything.
Kita lawan robot deh.
Here's backup. Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered. Grill.
Easy white chocolate. Illusion shattered. Bye bye. Oh. Bye bye. Buzzfeed. Thank you for coming. Udah ke-12 eh. Bye bye.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the opera house and help Navia.
Navia. Yeah, chat.
What's all this? It's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
Ambil.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
They probably belong to the victim.
You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here? And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things.
The water.
That means...
Water.
Oh, this is terrible.
So scary. The missing person possession. Ni korang baca lah ya. Ini dah examine kan. What else can I examine? Examine. Bottle.
There's so much synth here. And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink. Stock sample? They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super obvious.
Chante. Experiment table.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. no individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Tenang, Paimon, tenang.
Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before.
So scary.
Someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone. You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
The goal of the researcher is save this level called Vigneer, who was dissolved.
That's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
He is the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Paimon tulis kat mana, Paimon? Aku tulis kat tangan. Kenapa? Apa ni? Ni kot primordial.
There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
Primordial sea punya water.
This is where they make all the synth, and that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human.
Ya
Paimon will
bener.
take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Shantae, you stay. Okay, next. Examine bookshelf.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father.
Navia's
father. This seems to be an investigation report on him. Yep. It's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still
Kali ni
have the
3 jam
upper hand. He can act whenever he wants
Maybe
to
ya.
make our lives miserable. The only
3 jam punya stream.
picture entirely.
Archon je kot.
I concur.
Archon ni quest.
Send someone to kill him.
Sustain je kot.
Declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil. We've looked
So
at almost
evil.
everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Tak lagi kan? Yang tadi dah check. Ini dah tadi. Ada lagi ya? Is there anything else? Series object. Semen botol eksperimen. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ada ni lah evidence ni, kenapa tak guna? Oh my god. Tiga, 4. Tak ada lagi kan? Takkan nak pergi sini boleh? So kita kena keluar. Nyap. Tapi objektif kat sini. Apa ni?
Apa ni? You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find...
You find something for sure. Tu main tekan je.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see.
Saya mau cari dengan bontot je dengan mata.
Isn't that Vashe's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Apa ni?
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was...
Javier.
Marcel.
Marcel.
But Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Venier's grown son? Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Mungkin Vache tu kot. Chief Justice tu. Novlet. Mungkin lah, for me lah.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that name.
Kenapa repeat balik-balik ni?
Merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong?
Betul lah.
Fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away instead of
Akhirnya
paying
kita dah
attention to the living people around you.
bongkar rahsia dia.
So, you never noticed how we changed or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Rahsia apa bang? Rahsia kartun.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will
Rahsia
move on to the
kartun.
next
Hai Mod.
stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you. What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignere's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignere is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Dia minum satu jug je. Dia minum macam cak jug je. Cak jug Fortnite.
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me. I still need to save Vignere. A promise. We made a promise. Vignere. Vignere. Please, Vignere. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Yeay.
The
Ini
man
dah
now
menjadi
known as
detektif.
Marcel was originally
Detektif
named
konon.
Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vache as a result. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson.
Poisson.
During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rasula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rasula for many years, Vache decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vache's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vache. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Vache is guilty.
Ya betul lah. Kan betul terkejut.
Take Vache away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over
Dia
now.
guilty kan, dia bersalah.
Just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent
Kalau aku pilih salah,
getting what he deserves.
aku rasa dah lawan dengan semua orang kot.
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over.
It's finally over.
It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
Dah agak dah kenapa guilty sangat.
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Jadi Ultraman. Oh? What happened?
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Apa sih? Ini tak bersalah pun.
What's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either? But that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court?
Itu kira itu celaka je.
Judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap. Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, It's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Hi.
Oh, Monsieur Nervalet! That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
Maksud dia macam familiar. Is it the doctor? The doctor duduk sini kan? Fontaine kan?
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, kita akan bawa dia pergi ke Fountain Plaza, which is dia akan jumpa dia punya kekasih yang dekat fountain tu. Dia nak mati, dia nak kena hukum gantung kan, so yeah. He deserve it. He deserve it. Mana Masya tak ikut pun. Nipu.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes,
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Sampai jerit air juga.
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this
Macam
time,
masalahnya girlfriend
only
ni
the
jadi
thought of
ni
bringing
kot.
you back has kept me alive.
Jadi Oceanid.
Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine.
Dia dah build up Powerpuff Girl.
Not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became?
Bantai kan.
You are a liar. A heartless murderer.
You are a liar.
Narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Mungkin kot.
No.
Mungkin lah sebab tu.
Yeah. She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vinier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Mampu kau kaki buncin.
Vache. 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 Vache.
Macam. Very scary. Dia hilang kat air. Dengan air tu kali. Mampu kau kena sepak-sepak dekat dunia dia.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen.
My leg is killing me.
Mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now. This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be... Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that
Could you Hydro Dragon?
I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the Opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done.
Menyempat apa ni? Menyempat engkau? Apa ni? Macam ni? Repeat je.
Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there? Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we
Kejutku,
can
rasanya
talk
kau
to
tengah
the
main
host,
sempat
so
ia mereply. Reply apa
why
ni?
don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk
Kejut
to
aku.
him, right?
Talk to Nivelle. Hai awak. Encam.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Nervalette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
I want to ask about prophecy.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Tak reply. Ethan.
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I've been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
Huh. So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Last one, dia akan tanya dia pasal sibling kita. Yep.
Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Itu sahaja.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to
Thank you
leave
so
this
much,
blissful
Nivelette.
tranquility behind and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Monsieur Novelette.
Today because you had the day off.
Monsieur.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right. You've got a point.
You got a point.
Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
A slight rainfall without reason is complete. So we're in. Okay. Steamboat in the view. Oh, ni world quest, okay? Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you for participating in my stream. Akhirnya kita sudah siapkan kita punya apa dia tu? Kita punya akun quest Sudah berapa jam ni? 3 jam 41 minit. So, kalau kita calculate kan dengan kita punya apa dia tu, like 5 jam 6 jam lebih, 5 jam lebih lah, almost 5 jam lebih untuk aku siapkan 2 Archon quest ni. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, kita tengok siapa yang ada. Thank you Afif tadi for join. Thank you Ara for joining. Thank you Zul. Thank you thank you Achat. Thank you Mira. Thank you siapa lagi tadi? Thank you Semot. Thank you kejap. Thank you Boys Fake. Thank you Chimera for donation tadi. Thank you so much. Yeah, we end this stream right here. Bye bye guys. See you in the next stream. Kalau ada Archon quest lagi. Bye bye. Aku maybe kalau keluar macam ni kan, macam apa? Macam event quest, I might be not stream. I'll be stream kalau ada character the character that I want full, and then ada Archon quest. So event quest ni aku tak stream lah. Okay, bye bye guys, thank you so much for tonight. I see you guys in the next stream soon. Bye bye, good night, thank you so much, bye.